Frente a la gravedad de los hechos, expresamos nuestro...
In light of the seriousness of the events, we express our categorical rejection of any action that threatens the sovereignty, territorial integrity, and political autonomy of Venezuela. And we call for the unity and solidarity of Latin America and the Caribbean in the face of any form of external interference. Colombia considers that the military actions carried out unilaterally on Venezuelan territory constitute a clear violation of international law. These actions contravene the fundamental principle of the prohibition of the use of force in relations between states, except in strictly defined circumstances in the United Nations Charter. The above constitutes a highly concerning precedent as it threatens regional peace and security, as well as the rules-based international order. When these values are relativized, especially those regulating the use of force, the principle of sovereign equality of states is weakened and the door is open to an international order governed by imposition and not by law, with serious consequences for regional and global security. The normalization of these exceptions leads to an increasingly unpredictable international system. It expresses concern about the impact of these actions on the civilian population, which faces direct risks to their lives and property. The protection of civilians and the full guarantee of their human rights must be an absolute priority. We consider any threat or attack against innocent people or civilian infrastructure unacceptable. In this same sense, Colombia categorically, firmly, and unequivocally rejects threats of the use of force or any act of aggression against our territory, as well as defamatory and baseless statements against our head of state, Gustavo Petro. Such statements are unacceptable, demonstrate unacceptable interference in the internal affairs of our country, and contravene the most basic principles of the United Nations Charter. We demand respect in the face of stigmatizations, disqualifications, and disrespectful speeches against our head of state, legitimately elected by the sovereign will of the Colombian people. The government of Colombia has been, is, and will be a firm defender of democracy, the rule of law, and full respect for institutions. We reiterate the offer of our good offices to contribute to a diplomatic solution to the current situation, and we make a strong call to refrain from actions that could escalate tensions or affect regional security. Latin America and the Caribbean have a proven track record of peace that is currently under siege and at serious risk.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले.
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.